just want to say this, right? Bro, we really appreciate you coming on. What's the time now? About 1 o'clock?
Don't worry, no, man.
We thank you so much. It's a former under 17, under 20, under 23 player, right?
Yeah.
All of that, yeah.
All of that
Plenty.
played in Canada, Lithuania, Iceland, Finland. How much years pro?
About 10.
10 years pro.
Yes, bro.
Player coach now, doing his badges. We want to thank you, bro, for taking time out of your busy schedule, losing some sleep to talk to us. Young players, even though you're fast, work on your touch.
Work on your
touch.
Stay fit. Use the next foot.
Don't want no concrete touch. Don't get married for no team. Please.
For sure.
I'll tell you, the people from Trinidad be good. We have more talent than we think we have. But the basic stuff we lacking, and we have to work on that for sure, 100%. The basics, and not just football-wise, mentally also.
Mentally,
we have to be able to take that direction from the coaches and stuff like that. So that make sure and develop the game like that. Don't worry about skills. That will come after that, because that's natural. That will never leave you. He was good, man. He was good.
Sure.
Back then,
one of my biggest influences. I don't know if that's good or not, but
what I mean, man, who's you?
I don't know if that's big or not.
He's been doing them touches, or?
That time is only outside the foot on the pass, no?
Oh, okay.
That's all I want to do.
what was
and step over and out. That's all I wanted to do.
How successful were you with those passes, though?
Boy, I realized that let me take my time and pass my left foot there, boy. I had 2 feet for a reason, boy. I ain't going through that. I had 2 feet for a reason.
Fire.
Right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Trifactor podcast, where we talk about past, present, and future players of Trinidad and Tobago, right? We talk about players who play at a high level, whether it be college, we call it college, intercollegiate secondary school, right? University, professional, as well as international football, right? Tonight we have a esteemed guest, professional for a long time. He went to St. Anthony's Tigers. Am I correct?
Correct,
Right.
yeah, man.
Beating up people left, right, and center.
beating up the Saints, boy.
Saint violence.
It's not my fault. They was soft, man.
Fair enough.
So we thank him again for coming on. We hope you guys enjoy this podcast as we learn more about Akil and his endeavors. When I first saw him, he followed us on Trifactor. I was like, all right, let me check out this man page. And I see him, he get the ball about half line, boy. And about 3 or 4 pushes later, his goal, Place alone. That's what we're talking about. So, Akil, thanks for being with us again.
Bro. No problem, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Well, I must say, and the guy in the blue, that denim, that's denim.
Yeah, it's like a denim. Yeah, it's like a denim.
It's Andre, right?
Yeah. Okay. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, bro. It's a pleasure. So you started off one time. You're interested in European football? Any chance you were supporting any team in the Euros?
I watch a couple of games. I have 4 teammates from Spain. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
4 teammates from Spain. Yeah, so they were more in tune in it. I was in and out because in between when I'm not playing and stuff, I coaching the kids here and stuff because working on licenses and stuff. So I coach the kids in here. So I really didn't have much time to watch a lot of games. But when I did watch games, it was good. I watched Italy Spain game was good.
Yeah. For sure.
That was a good game, I think from what I see, Italy was the most dominant force in the Euros, man. I think they were a much complete team from front to back.
Correct.
Right.
Good,
for sure.
Good team chemistry. Players playing for the manager, playing for the country. But
yeah. They show something that I haven't seen in Italian football for a long time because Italy known for defending.
Yeah.
This team was defending and attacking, and ball possession was a different class. The whole team really shocked me, especially Chiesa. He was causing problems, boy.
He's a good player.
I don't really watch Italian football, but I think I might have to start now.
Same here. I think it was a good showing for Syria for real.
For real, because the quality, I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was really shocked by.
Well, I'll just warn both all here. As a man that used to watch Syria relentlessly, most of the teams is actually play like England. That's how they play. That's the general tempo is slow, and they generally have is 6 men or so behind the ball. It's a hard luck scene, but it's good tactics. You will see a lot of players who have real touches and talent and things. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Well, thanks for the fair warning, man. It can't be any worse than Bundesliga.
Yeah. Well, that one horse show. Small thing.
Man.
So you have any teams that you back?
I'm a diehard Barcelona fan.
So
I support him since what? Zenden, Overmars, Coco. The four brothers. I back way back then. From back.
You're one of the few. There are plenty men in Barca for more than when Dino and Messi started peaking.
Yeah. Now,
so you were there for the struggle years. You was there for the struggle years.
Struggle years. That was more than struggle years, but it was painful, but we had quality, but titles didn't used to come out. You know, Rivaldo kind of come on and help, but still, it was still tough in them times, man.
Yeah,
when you see it, you know, so
trying to buy every youth. Go down the list. Riquelme, Saviola.
You remember when they buy Saviola, boy?
Yeah.
They had Quaresma.
Charisma.
But he was, if he had discipline, he'd have be on the good side there. Instead of Julie, he'd have be there. But he had no.
Yeah. When you see a man had Julian thing playing in front, you know something wrong.
Yeah,
when Julie have a better impact than you, but charisma is quality, you know.
Real
very
high
good quality, you know. But mentality, I think his mentality was on the wrong side of the bed for man. He wasn't disciplined.
Yeah, to me, he was more talented naturally than maybe Ronaldo. But mentally,
I mean, for sure.
Mentally, no comparison.
when that money start raking in, he start getting crazier. That's the problem. There's the money that sent him crazy. Ronaldo was more dedicated.
For sure.
Ronaldo working his craft. Charisma was just natural. Even up to this day, when you see Quaresma play for Portugal, when it was about 2 years ago, and you see him in the tournament, in the Euros, I think he playing with Ronaldo in the
Euros 2016.
Yeah, he was quality.
Of course.
Yeah, you still have it.
Nobody have that. Let's call it a Trovella outside the foot. Nobody have that as.
I see some slander was getting vexed, men saying, "Oh, that's Modric. Modric good with it," but they say, "Oh, that's Modric shot." I was like, "No, that's not Modric."
That way back.
When it had a pass, KDB make one to the outside the foot. Men was saying, "Oh, I never see a pass." Like, bro.
I didn't see football yet, man.
I say, bro. It's how one called Quaresma who does do that. Like, that's the only pass he know.
Exactly.
That's the only shot. That's the only pass. That's the only that's everything.
Crazy.
And that the problem though, he'd not change. No matter what coach, no matter what team, he's not changing his style. And a lot of times what happens, coaches have a different philosophy and they want it to fit into their moral and the system. And he cannot conform to them kind of laws. He's sticking to his belief, and that's the problem right there. That's what happened at Barca. Barca wanted him to play a certain way, but it's the Charisma show.
So, when did you start playing football or fall in love with the game, bro?
Young man, at 6, I was with back in the day I was with Ron Lafray coaching school and Saki coaching school in Diego Martin.
Right.
I started off with they basically grew me into mold me into the player that time. You know, they showed me that football could be an outlet basically at that young age.
Right.
You know, and then Ron Lafray also it also pursued me when he was in the national team, also when he was national under 17 coach.
Okay.
So he brought me along with him along for that experience too. So he was basically, I have to say, he was there from the beginning. He was like another father figure to me.
Yeah, that big impact on your career.
Yeah, having a very big impact. on my career. And also he came to St. Anthony's also. He coached us at one point and in St. Anthony's also. So, he was along for that ride. I said start young, 6, and I fell in love with the game ever since then, because when you're young, most people don't really know what they like or what they don't like. But when I first touched that ball and I realized that, hey, this is fun. Because when you're young and you're thinking about professional it's fun. Yeah. And then I was young, I was fast, so you're running past everybody and you're catching Jones and they're laughing. So you realize this is a talent here, there's a talent here. I didn't foresee the future, but at the moment I was like, okay, I'm fast, I can just push it around. Like this is fun. Because when you're small and no kids just running around. So it was fun, and I realized that this is something I could do all the time, and just from there, kind of as the years went by and I get older, the passion for the game come. Right. And then back then you used to watch, on TV and stuff like that. Some of the games. What did you show? Yeah, all the games will come on. Yeah, Manchester and all them old, you'll watch the old games and stuff. And I think Dwight York at that time when I was growing up, was playing and playing, and you're seeing that and it. Now it's not to get, as they get a little older, the passion. Yeah. So that kind of like really, really pushed me to want to pursue it, as a career. But in Trinidad, it wasn't really a realistic dream, because they're not really hearing many players at that point of time. Going abroad and stuff like that. And so it was a passion from young, but it's hard work, but I would say that.
Yeah. So on the scale of Cristiano to Quaresma, like you had a lot of natural talent, or you had to work on your craft to get better. What was it?
I can't say I had natural speed. I'll put it that way. I would say natural speed, but talent, I think in Trinidad, I would say this, like whether it's intercall or at national level, I think the fundamental for the games are not taught a lot. Yeah. If you're good, coaches just label it, you're good. So your picture.
Yeah, you good come.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But the fundamental of the game is not taught. I think Rana tried that a lot when I was in national team. He did fundamental basic things. Yeah. But when you reach, let me say 15, 16 and trying to teach somebody who playing and probably in their neighborhood, they're good. So they already feel like they make it now. So it's hard to teach at that level. So for me, I think I had to work extra hard. I wasn't a natural, the skillful person that come after time, but with speed, that was natural. That was the only thing. So I use that to my ability. I use that part to my ability. But other than that, I had to fine tune everything else. Fine tune. You laugh there, but it's fine tune. It takes a lot of nights and training to get to that point. And I didn't think I get in Trinidad. I got by. I could say that in Trinidad I got by because of my speed. But when I went to the next level, I got exposed.
Yeah. Really? Tell us a bit about that. What do you mean by that?
Well, for me, I went to college. I went to college first. I went to UNF in Florida. Yeah. And then from there, I had a good 2 years. My freshman year, my sophomore year too. I make freshman year, all conference team. I break everything, records, most goals, most assists, one season, everything. I do everything in 2 years. So each season, I break each record. So I wanted a challenge. So I played Evansville. I don't know if you all know Ian McCulley.
I'm not sure if I know him.
He played with me in St. Anthony's, and he went to Evansville. And we played Evansville, and at that time, I think Evansville was about ranked in the top 25 in the nation, and had a good game.
Wow.
And they wanted to take me from a small school to come, but they didn't have the finances, so they ended up calling North Carolina State in Raleigh. So I ended up going there, bigger institution. I did okay at first, blending in and stuff. It was good. Had a good 2 years there also, and then I went to start my career in Canada. Then in Canada now, I had a good season, 10 goals, 7 assists, rookie of the year. Still, you're on top. You're still on a high. You're on a high. So after that now, I get a chance to go Finland. So I went on trials in Finland. It was supposed to be for a week. I went 2 days. I sang in 2 days. I had a good first 2 days.
Okay.
I need the exposed part yet, you know. I need
Yeah, you ain't get exposed.
Again, I will add again the build up tape.
Oh, okay. You ain't get exposed yet.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
signed out. So now you're feeling yourself. You call home. You call your parents. They do your first contract. They do your first professional contract. Everything good, legit. So I signed Tuesday. Wednesday, I come practice. I done already, you know, feeling myself. So got on practice with the team. The coach say, Akil, come. It's all right. So he stand up about 10, 15 yards away from me.
Yeah.
He chopped this ball.
Ooh.
And he ping up. This is in front of the whole team. So let me say I squad about 22, 25 players. Waiting to go and practice. But he called me in front of the whole team.
Yeah.
He said, trap this ball. So I said, all right, listen, cool, like a trap. I learned that, you know. When he pinged that ball into me, I said, what kind of freaking bullet pass is this? the ball, my first touch, the ball going up in the air. and up to now, it can't come back down. I said, but in my mind, but this man trying to embarrass me in front of everybody.
Right.
Just sign me on a 2-year contract, and this is the first thing you're doing. Yeah. So then he called one of the Finnish players now. Do the same thing. But this to me, the Finnish player wasn't that quality, but he could pass, he could trap, he have good vision and thing. But you know, in Trinidad, when you're Trinidad, they look for skills, they look for
flair.
Yeah. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, he had none of that. He had no seasoning. I just call it no seasoning.
I love that. My team is nice.
He had no seasoning. So
Yeah.
But he gonna do the same thing. My boy look the other way and chop the ball there. Ball ain't even move an inch. From that day, after he exposed me there, because when I do my chop, they laugh at me. Because you're in front of the whole team.
Yeah. And there's language barrier too. This men even talking English and laughing at you.
I'm laughing because
you don't even know what they're saying.
Exactly. I just sang in 2 days. I know nothing.
This is the sign, boy. This is the pay all our money for, boy.
Exactly.
but why the coach do you so though?
So after now, during that season, that was my first professional season in Finland, and it was rough up and down. He was from Russia. His name was Roman Eremenko. His sons and them play for Rubel Kazan, big clubs.
Okay.
He's a prestige person like in Finland.
Okay.
And like one of the biggest coaches. And he like, you know, tiki-taka, Barca football. But me coming from the background where I was fast, nobody never trained me to tactically or learn positions or nothing like that. So I just come in with my raw talent, trying to advantage these men. But mind you, no matter how fast he is, no matter how skillful he is, if you have no understanding of football, a man who is slower than you but understand the game and read the games better than you is going to slow you down. And that's exactly what happened every single time for the first month. I struggled. I ain't gonna lie, I struggled. I said, but wait, I slow. What going on here? Like I can't pass nobody.
What do you mean, man? Break that down a little bit. So was that like confidence or was it?
It's for me it was a whole different dynamics now. So you're coming from Trinidad Intercol where he was saying something.
Advantage.
College, more you get more madness going on there. I get on bad.
Yeah.
In Canada, I get on bad, and you come into this environment now fully professional. You're waking up in the morning, practice in the morning. Let me say at 10, you're there. You have to be there for 9 or before, where we have treatment, everything the full works.
Right.
The practice session starting off with you let rondo. They call it rondo square 4v2. I never do them thing in Trinidad. Where I do rondo in Trinidad?
In the middle.
Yeah, right.
That's close enough.
Yeah, right. Try in the middle. I said, "Oh, wait, so now you're starting to sign, but now you're going through the paces and you're seeing what it takes. So there's play every practice. Before every practice was rondo, at least for 30 minutes. And I never understand that. I was like, but this don't really relate to football because once again, your mentality from Trinidad and college, because college already, for me, in my opinion, college will prepare for the next level of football, unless they're going to play MLS, which is kick and run for me. Back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Now we're kind of developing, but it didn't prepare me for the next level. So we do, so every drill we do, whether is the rondo and they do a lot of possession stuff, a lot of 4v2s, a lot of 4v4s, 5v5, joking in the middle and they're playing. And a lot of times it's only 2 touch or 1 touch. So if you're touching good, you're struggling. So
you're in the middle, yeah.
Whether it's rondo, whether you playing a game, because a lot of times when they're playing games where there's big field, small field, 2 touch, 1 touch. Right. And I didn't understand it then. Because I used to just playing and you're doing your own thing and I'm struggling. But I started to feel out of place. So obviously when it started to happen, the confidence started to go down a bit. You start doubting yourself, but you say, but why? We're not really. Who is this person? I can't run past nobody, I can't dribble nobody, I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
And it take me 3 months to adapt. And it's only after I started to get good, the coach started to talk to me. Before that, he wasn't saying a word to me.
Seriously?
Nothing. Man didn't talk to me. I tell you, man, he will come practice. And I would say morning, he would say morning, and that's probably the most he would talk to me for the time I was there.
But he signed you, right? So he scout you? Like he come looking for you?
He signed me. And before that, here what happened. So when I went from Canada, now I had a good season. I had a friend that played in Asia, in Singapore. So my friend come and say, I have a team fair. I talk to the team. Obviously, like I said, when they come from where I come and Asia offered that money, it was good money. So I run it. While I was in Asia, he called me. Personally called me and talked to me and convinced me to come there. So I say, you know what? Europe is a better level because Asia is a different type of football. It's them want Messi. You got to do everything. You got to take throw, goal kick, keeper, ref. You got to do everything. And I was nothing all that. Or listen, the money good, but the headache is not with all our body. And I can make that same money in Europe. So he called me. He talked to me on the phone. We talked for about an hour. He explained to me everything, and then the team, sir, I agree. The next 2 days, buy my ticket and they fly me out to Finland to come and train. So for me, when I get that kind of feeling, I thought I already, I inside like
you were serious about it. There's some real serious about you.
Right.
Yes, and my man has seen, well, everything copacetic. I not to worry about nothing. I come in to get on bad again.
Right.
I sang in that 2 days because what I realize is when you have a real professional coach, they just need, honestly, 10 minutes to know what kind of player you is. They can just judge you and assess you in 10 minutes.
Right.
And that was shocking to me, like, because when I do my courses, they talk about those things. They talk about how, what coaches look for, what they want. Because if they bring a defender, they already know what type of defender they want. They just want to make sure this is the person that we should sign.
Akil, just a segue, that's a real interesting topic. While they're doing your badges now, what do they tell coaches to look for now? Because it seems like flair has been taken out of the modern game. Like, what do they tell coaches to look for?
I wouldn't say flair taken out.
Yeah.
But they want you to use it when necessary. Not taken out, when necessary. It's more football now. It's more like chess. It's tactical, smart. It's more like that. They want players who could think fast and understand. And so let me say you're playing 4-4-2, and then the coach says something on the silent and they change to 3-5-2 and they can adapt to that. They want players that are smart, that understand the game. They want players who could make decisions in a split second. And that is why the game changing now, where you're seeing less flair and more players who passing and moving and that kind of stuff. You ain't seen no more Robinho men beating it 10 times and you're fooling now. None of that.
If Robinho came into football now, he might not make it.
Might end up playing golf or something. So he gonna play.
You'll get dropped.
Because even look, Neymar is probably the last flaring player, and they kicking that all left, right. They ain't giving him a chance.
Boy, don't talk about that game Saturday night. That was Robinho. You get to see the game? You get to see it?
Yeah, I watch. Of course, Messi's my favorite player, so I watch.
Oh, so you see them tackle?
Yeah, that game was rough.
That wasn't tackles, that was karate. It might as well be MMA. Might as well be. It was rough. It was rough. You know, but that's South American style. But back to the courses, so I started off. Yeah, for me, I start off on the basic level from youth to the teacher, how to deal with youth, coaching youths, you know, and you're working your way up and working drills. So more for the youths, the younger they are, they try to make the drills less complicated, so you make it where they can just be tuned in.
It's fun, yeah.
But as they get older, let me say between ages like 10 to 15, that's when they start grooming them for tactically. And so at that, imagine that young age, you're learning tactics, you're understanding the game differently from 10 to 15. So let's imagine when you reach 16, 17.
Right,
to me, that was the big difference going into a European style of football compared to when you're playing home in Trinidad, because we don't learn them thing.
Yeah.
You know, we don't learn them thing. And that was
good come.
So in the courses, I remember this, I'll never forget this. One of the coaches said in the courses, when I assessing a player, if a player can't trap, I don't even look at him after that. The first you can't trap, you don't look at him after that. Yeah. He said, because if you can't trap, then you can't put yourself in a position to do anything after. Because if your touch not good, it's only two things going to happen. Either going outside, they want to tackle after. And I don't want that at my team. He said, I never forget that.
And he don't think a player could develop that? Or he ain't had time for that?
He not on that. It's like, if I go and sign somebody, I'm not going and sign somebody that I need to develop more. They have to come from something different.
At a certain level. That's a come at a certain level, yeah.
Because you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Let me say you're a coach in Intercup. So you have under that you have what? You're 15, you're 17, you're second level.
Yeah.
So if you want to pull a player from one of those teams, they have to be better than where you have.
Right.
So let me say they're good. They probably have good qualities, but they can't trap. You have to deal with him differently than they had to deal with. So that time you're taking to deal with him, you could be doing another drill. And that's what you're trying to break it down as.
I never thought about it like that, you
know. So how and when did you get into doing your badges? You started in Finland? Or it was later on?
Later on, only until I came high school I started, because you're getting older. Legs, my legs still working. They're still moving, apparently, for a surprise. It's shocking me and all. But as I get older, I started realizing this is not forever. I'm not He-Man, and this is not Avengers, so I'm not going to last forever. So
right.
I say, so about 2 years ago I started it. So not 2020, but 2019 I started. So I had my season, and after the season I stayed longer. And I wasn't really thinking much about it, but the team was like, hey, Akil, we want to get your badges for you. What do you think?
Wow.
It's like, no problem. So the course was in Icelandic. I know little. I don't know much. I know little. But thankfully, like, the coaches know English and Icelandic, so they kind of helped me along the way. Right. And then when I did the first course, I was a little, obviously it's a different language. You're a little scared because it's something new. But when I did the first course, I said, nah, but this is it, boy. It opened up my eyes into a whole different ball game. Yeah. This is it.
Hold on. So let me step back and then come back forward again. Right. So usually we try to talk through like kind of, because we want to make sure we're walking through for any like aspiring professionals and things like that. Now kind of how your journey happened and things like that. So I mean, so how you went from St. Anthony's to UMF? Is UNF?
UNF.
Yeah.
So
how you went? Yeah.
St. Anthony's now, I played, and then I was supposed to go West Virginia. Yeah. So the coach from West Virginia came to Trinidad, and like they have those like, call it combines or whatever.
Yeah.
And they come, and it didn't work out. For some reason it didn't work out. And at that time, Groovy was equal to Groovy. Went to West Virginia, so he was kind of pushing for me to go there, but it didn't work out. Then South Florida was interest, but then he was like, nah, I thought too much trainees there already. I don't want it to send me there.
Yohance was there.
Yeah, he was a year or two before me. So he was there. So then we had another combine, and UNF came. So out of the blue, they didn't hesitate. They put the offer down one time or whatever. So I not even thinking twice. I shouldn't get out, because that was the only way out for us at that time. Nobody ain't coming to hand no contract or anything like that. And I wasn't interested in playing pro league in Trinidad, so I think the college was the best level, the better.
What form you was in at that time?
I was in Form 6 when that happened.
Okay. And you had to do SATs and thing or no?
SATs and thing. My SAT score it wasn't too great. I think it was like 11 something or something like that, out of the 1600 or something. So it wasn't too great. Yeah. But they ended up getting men and stuff. But then in college you need a science, and I didn't really do a science after Form 5. I think it's only after Form 5 years do science or something. They wanted an advanced science, and I didn't have that. So I redshirted my first season. My next. So, but the funny part about that story is, one of the funny part, I had to say God, but I get lucky because it had another Trini there. And at that time, he had a girlfriend. She was rich. I'll put that rich. So when I lost, because I couldn't play football, I lost my scholarship.
What?
Yeah.
So you got scholarship. So if you can't play, because I didn't have a science, I didn't have enough credits to play, so I can't play. I lost his scholarship. So it just so happened that the fellow girlfriend mother just randomly said, "All right, I'll pay for him."
Okay.
Paid for me my first and second semester.
To keep you,
Keep me there, and I was still forever grateful for that. Then it had nothing that they can ask me for that I wouldn't do at this present moment, And for me that was it was good, but it was surprising that somebody that don't know you will do something like that now. So and end up staying in college. So and I stayed, and then the next season was pretty good.
So that semester you got 4.2, right? As appreciation. You mash it up.
That semester, boy, what I get? I think close to 3.2. School and me is neither real. I'm not a school person. I could do it, but I'm lazy when it comes to it.
Yeah, for sure.
As a procrastinator.
Especially when we're young, like when you think about school, is come kind of too young though. Like nobody that's serious when they're young. The average person not that serious when they're young. So
because you think about you're great. People fail to realize when you leave for college, you're on your own. No more family, no more moms. The freedom you get is a whole different freedom, So thank God I didn't shy away from but it was. College was good. Like if I could do college over again, I did right now. Any hesitation, I would go right back with college. It was a great experience, So I had my first 2 years, but in the confidence that I was in, I find it wasn't challenging me. Wow. So I made that decision to go to North Carolina State, which was a bigger school. Yeah. And even now, so when you go to a bigger school, and this is ACC, so you're dealing with North Carolina, Carolina Tar Heels, Duke. Wake Forest, Maryland, Virginia Tech, the biggest of the biggest schools. So our conference was one of the biggest.
Was UNF D1 as well?
D1 also, yeah. D1.
Okay, nice.
That was D1. So I went from a D1 to a bigger D1.
Wow.
That changed. So UNF, I'll put it this way. So UNF, I was the man. Like even up to this day, like they have a picture of me still in the library.
Right.
A big poster and stuff like that in the library. You go in the library, seeing me. That's the first thing you're going to say. I do all what I need to do there. So when I went into state now, I take that same thing, but enter the bigger school. They don't care who you do in UNF. Who's UNF?
Right.
So we had fitness tests. I hate running. I despise it.
Are you gonna be a player and hate running, boy?
Fastest man hate running, boy.
Running fast and running 2 miles in 12 minutes is two different things.
Yeah, for sure.
I have baby legs and I ain't told them I go fast.
I know, bro. I know the struggle.
My legs shutting.
I can relate.
Yeah. So it was even difficult when I went into it because the demand become more now. Because you coming on scholarship, your scholarship is all kind of 40,000 or something or a year or something like that.
Yeah.
You come in and taking all this money from it, and if you ain't performing, so that every morning I in the it's called a breakfast club. If you don't pass every morning, I ain't passing no fitness every morning, and they just laugh and they say, every day is like, Akil, you think you will pass it? I was like, you know the hand sign and pass don't fit.
What was the fitness? What was the fitness every morning?
So they normally do 2 miles in 12 minutes.
On the track.
And then after that, 2 miles in 12 minutes. And then when they complete that, you have to do 3 miles in 18 minutes.
Right after?
So you will do it 1 week, 2 miles, next week the 3 miles.
Okay.
But back then I was young, I was immature. So one day, because we do all this running for preseason, I show up in track and field gear. I show up, I borrow some of the track people's stuff, I show up in the little short pants. Which I ready for practice. They said, no, but I get frustrated because all this wearing I do because you can remember a program in UNF that I was already doing my thing. Granted, I wasn't passing only fitnesses, but you put money field, you get 90 minutes of goodness. Class. Put me to run on the track. Nah, but you're fighting a war there. I'm fighting a war by myself or now. So I show up in the little uniform and they laugh, but I guess I know for a week, but it was good. It was good laugh. Because all I do is running because how they do it in America is you only have 2 weeks before season to practice. So it comes. It's.
Why is that? Because they had to get a break or something?
I know NCAA system is only a certain amount of hours they could practice before the season. So I never really understand it. But it's 2 weeks. So just imagine 2 weeks and they're cramming everything.
All the fitness into that.
But
so better come there fit.
Yeah.
And where were you before the 2 weeks? Is in Trinidad, you 10 doubles and 10. And then you go back.
So to go interstate because of bigger school, I had to do more classes. So my semester, so in one semester, I do 9 classes. I had to pass all. Then after that, 9. I had to do 9 courses in because I had to get my GPA up to a certain.
How many credits is that? 9 classes.
That is about.
I 27 credits though.
That's too much. And some of them is probably like 4 credit classes.
Good. Yeah, that's right.
I had to do one with journalism.
Yeah.
So to go into state now, I had to take time off of football for 1 semester in UNF and not play and just do school. I do that and then I had to do 2 or 4 other classes in the summer. So I do summer A and summer B just to go. So mind you, I forget it was important. Mind you, I show up to preseason fat. Heavy. Because obviously in America, so you eating all them shit. Yeah. And when you're studying, you ain't really.
Bro. I know.
You just eating. So when I show up fat. And him and my man, I doubted myself to it, and people telling me, Akil, you're fat, but I said, nah, but still good, I'm good. And I show up to the people in the preseason fat. It was a rough preseason. Rough.
You ain't vomit and thing?
Nah, as a man, never vomit and thing from fitness.
Boy.
I never, but every morning. And again, if they say 6 o'clock is practice, then they call me at 5:30. We coming up pick you up. No, you're running. Because so at one point the team was practicing and I was doing my running before practice. Oh, I was dying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll ever spend a summer in America.
Yeah.
Oh, son, Jesus.
Hey, so just say, me and Osei, we went SC State, we went South Carolina State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Undergrad.
No.
So we know the scene up there.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And you're doing 3 days. We had practice 9, 12, and 4. And by 12, it had one point at time we used to find a little bench in between my apartment and the fee and sleep right there and then wake up and go practice. I can walk home and come back. If I go home and I come back.
But I always admire how students at least does get everything done us. The amount of work on the field and the amount of work off the field, they are able to prioritize when they leave school for sure. One time. For sure.
Yeah, because you do everything.
Yeah. And somehow they'll still be able to turn up us. I don't know how they'll fit
turn up the most. Turn up the most.
Just put that in there. I had no football and I was like,
that weekend hit and you have free time, that's when you had a because in UNF was a small school, so when NC State bigger. So how it was, because NCD is a bigger school, all athletes have their own personal apartment building. So all athletes in one building.
That was nice.
Yeah, right.
Was madness because you had everything in it because you had the NFL players, the football players, basketball players. So them do the most. So when them partying, everybody goes, everybody has go there. It was pool party every day, like every day pool party. But it was madness. To stay focused and do what you need to do in a bigger school is madness because it's more people. You cannot trouble like you get yourself in it endless.
So UNF is University of North Florida?
Yeah, North Florida, right.
What are their like nicknames or whatever? Ospreys, yeah. Alright. And you broke every record there. Big dog on campus, and then you went to NC State.
I can't believe you volunteered. Like, so you voluntarily went to the bigger school to challenge yourself?
Yeah, because for me, I like a challenge, and for me, I like to push myself. And if I stay at UNF, I do think I'll go pro because at that time it had 9 trainees there. So I had all my friends from most of my friends from Trinidad was there. Like my close friends was there with me playing. And it's easy to get sidetracked or fall into a trap on But for me, I thought UNF wasn't challenging me because at that time when you go in college, MLS was the next step. And to go to MLS, I had to go for a top 25 school. And the opportunity arise. I didn't really go looking for it. It happened because, like I said, I played Evansville and I did well, and the coach wanted me there and he couldn't. So he called his friend, which was Dan Popick at NC State, and they saw the game and they called me one time and they were interested. So I did what I had to do. I had 9 classes. All right, you want to do 9 classes? I'll bust my ass and do 9 classes. Cool, and put my head down and go. Because I wanted the challenge. And to me, I think if I did not have gone NC State, I would not go pro. And that's not because of a football level, but because it challenged me to a whole new level when it comes to fitness and discipline in the game.
Right. But you say reach fat, right?
Yeah.
What the coaches told you when you reach there overweight? What did they say?
So one coach was from Argentina, George Tarantini, may God rest his soul. He passed away a couple of years ago. Good coach, good guy. And Dan Popick was the guy that recruited me. So obviously Dan is the first one, but Dan was exactly what. But there's no why I signed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I literally come with a belly because all of a belly. So picture a skinny fella with a belly. So he looked at me and he said, but this is not what. So when I run anything, I run like a bar because I'm not used to carrying all that weight. So I'm not moving freely.
Yeah.
So once again, you get thrown in the water, and you think other people around you that could save you, but they're not going to save you because
they want to make the team.
Yeah, exactly. So I struggled a little bit. I get over it quickly, but the first month or 2 was difficult. It was real difficult because coming over and it was hard for me to just drop the weight because in my mind I'm trying to do the same things I was doing before, but I can't anymore become a body not adequate enough to do it. Granted, I was playing a lot and I scored a couple of goals and stuff like that, but it wasn't to the impact that they wanted. So I had, what meetings I had? I every week was a meeting with me. Akil, come on, let's do this, you gotta do this. All right. Back again in the meeting again. And if it's not football, it's go to class and thing because now your classes, so you are practicing in the morning at like about 6 and 6 to 8. Then you have class at 9. I said, but what? Like, I'm hello. Like, because in UNF now, we was organizing our classes. So you can put your class how you want it.
Right.
And you have a guidance counselor or whatever you call them, and they organize your classes.
Yeah, I forget it too. Yeah.
Was it? I can't remember what they call her again, but mine was Maria. And Maria wasn't playing that. Maria was black like me, and she said, "You're not going to embarrass us." This. All right, no problem. And then because it's a bigger school, you have you call these hours though. You have study hall hours.
Right.
Yeah, study hall.
I said, but where is my free time?
What is that? No.
That.
So this whole guy going. So I started to get tired. Well, I was tired and stressed out.
But they still break records there too?
And not the first, the second season now. So the first season I struggle a bit. So what they do now, so now everybody's going for summer. They say, nah, you're not going nowhere.
Wait, I love bad child boy. Wait,
so they say the last time you trust me to do preseason, when you come back, me playing now with you. So it had the Carolina Real Hawks in the same area. So they end up sending me there with some of the other players, the good players who play PDL at that time. And I played PDL at that time, and that was when I started. The coaches there, I think at the time was Remy Martin and Dewan Barber. So that is when I started slowly develop, because the coaching there was obviously they're a professional club and they have the PDL team. So sometimes they used to integrate us and they see the different level. And that summer, I was clicking all cylinders start firing at that point. that point, because you know you're in a gear, you're in a rhythm now, you get comfortable or playing more. PDL at that time was very competitive, so again the hang of things, because now you're playing against the same ACC competition in PDL teams are wrong, because Raleigh and Northern have a lot of PDL teams at that time.
Okay.
So I'm playing against the competition, so again used to it again, I'm more confident. I slimmed down, no more belly.
No belly.
Nothing. I was firing on cylinders. So when I went into that season now, I was firing. So I would say every 2 weeks is probably player of the week or something like that. I start firing then, but then the other problem come with class.
Right.
I didn't like to go to class, so every morning I'd call me, Akil, going to class. I say, you say you're going to class? Yeah. And then they go here, knock on the door. Come on, let me go.
Wow. Go to class.
That was the problem. Yeah, go to class because I was tired. You train in the morning, I'd go. I said, I can't function. My brain couldn't do so much. Because and this is the things that I always tell people. We want challenges for ourselves, but are you ready to handle the challenge yourself?
Yeah. Right.
Because we don't understand. It's always a dream for something bigger and better, but are you willing to do what to say to do the bigger and better things? And I wanted bigger and better, but at that time I can be honest with myself, I wasn't ready. I wasn't. I wanted it, but I didn't want what else comes with it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the class and be disciplined and stuff like that. I had a good season that season. I did well, and in my mind I was like, you know what? Maybe I could do the whole MLS thing, but it never. After the season, it never happened. It didn't even get this close. So
you had so normally what the combine calls you or something, or how does it?
Yeah, so they look at the best players and invite players to combine to take a look at all the players together. And it was mentioned of that I was, that I might be invited, blah blah blah, but nothing never come up. But because it's give you a grade, like there's how people, whoever the news people is, talk about, and they say, okay, he's good, he's fast, he's good quality, blah blah. Only thing they say I was small because I'm not the biggest person. America have all these 6 foot, 7 foot defenders and things who not good, but they will kill you if they get a chance. They will run into you. So at that time, that's what they like.
Right.
That's what they like, So I thought in my mind, well, I happened. I didn't end up going to it's Philadelphia City Islanders or something like that, which was a USL team at that time.
Right.
And that was after college. Now when I done with the 4 years. So I went there on a trial coaching environment for a week. It started off good, everything was alright. But like I said, I was still green. I wasn't ready for that level yet because
the USL. You wasn't ready for the USL level either.
Nah, you get out train good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You ain't gonna know who that person is. Then Thursday, I'm gonna show up again, and Friday you'll get maybe. You ain't know. And after they come back, now the coach told me, he's like, "You're a good player. We want to sign you, but we can't." And in my mind, I was like, "You want to sign, but you can't. What's going on here? Like no money." And then he break it down. He said, "Listen, you're a good player, but you're not consistent enough. You'll give us something now, and we will see all the flashes. But then after that, you'll go missing for like 15, 20 minutes in the game."
Wait, who tell you that?
Coach.
The coach of the USL team?
Yeah, the USL team. So he pulls. So after you do the combine, they have meetings with individual players that they want to keep and some of the players that they want. He pull us and he talked to him and he say, "We would love to, have you back again and stuff like that, and we keep in touch and all." That bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
The email, that's the in-person version of the email of thank you for your interest this time.
Thank you for applying.
I respect him enough to be honest and say I'm not consistent. I agree, I wasn't. You'll get flashes there.
I like that though. You get real feedback so you could actually take that with you even if you ain't with them,
So I get flashes. I understand because once again I said you're not Trinidad college, you're not getting coached as a player, you're not getting developed. You just playing off of natural ability and they're just using your natural talent to help the team. Nothing more, nothing less.
I think one of our previous guests, was it Marcus? Somebody who say, what they're doing, what that sound like is they're using you for their team.
Yeah.
They're not developing you.
Nah, they use you for 4 years and after that, I'm going to get exactly like that. This plain talk bad man, that's exactly. And the same thing in Trinidad, you're good, you get away with murder, and they can continue, but they're not coaching you to get better.
Yeah.
Up to my whole career now, my left foot, I don't use my left foot still. Because I was never taught that.
Yeah.
Because I was so quick and so fast, I never had to adjust myself. And up to this,
don't put up to Akil. That is the plan. Don't put up them. Chase. Goal.
And that's it. You're gone. Lightning. You're gone. And I always said, not worry about what left. Who need left? We're going to get
Yeah.
And it's until you get to a higher level now, you realize, I couldn't right and them men coming right at me.
I could use my left foot, boy, because them men only showing me on the left, boy, and I know what to do.
And they get in the whole room to
everybody. He don't go on the left. I'll do that.
They're going to cut back. So for me, it never prepared me for that level. So I was fortunate enough after the City Islanders. One of the fellas I played with in PDL, he ended up signing in Canada, and they was looking for players. And he called me, and that's how I ended up starting off my career there. True luck, because it was graduation, so I had courses to do to graduate.
Yeah.
So it's graduate, and then
your status running out.
My guidance counselor, that's what it's called. Counselor. Guidance counselor called and said, listen, you have to do these classes to graduate. So I no see now. My dreams then get crushed in City Islanders. I then cry out all my tears.
Yeah. Right.
I put my head down and do this. I got randomly get a call from a friend. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I ain't playing nothing. He said, you want to play? I said, yeah. I said, in Canada, you want to come? I said, yeah. So in my mind, I don't think he's serious because we weren't close like that.
Right.
But he said he did that because he see the quality that I had when he played in PDL. We never talk on that name, but he said he was a good player in PDL, and I think he would be a good player for this team. Just ran.
Wow.
So he said the coach quality. So I didn't think nothing of it now. I get the call from the coach, and the next day contract. So now I get put in a dilemma. Graduate, do these courses, take this free courses, because if you don't take it now, you gotta pay for it after. Do that or go pro. Dilemma dull for a week, and I think. Talk to my father, and Trini parents. And the first thing my father says, I ain't paying for that when you go pro now.
Right.
Take that classes? No. I ain't paying for that. I don't have money for that.
Yeah.
It's alright. I say, listen. So I make like an ultimatum. I say if I go pro and everything work out, I'll go back to school in the off season. And it is so good when you take it.
Yeah.
But when time coming, bro, so I end up taking the thing now, and that's when I went to Canada, and it panned out. It worked out. Everything went to script, did well, everything. We cleared the 10 goals for a season, everything happened. And then the end of the season now, I tried to go back to school, to go back to do the classes to graduate.
Yeah.
I pay my own money, everything.
Yeah.
That lasted about 2 days. And I said, nah, boy, I ain't back. I was just too long now to
be doing them thing, yeah.
So I pay my money, I get my our campus, get my apartment on campus.
All that, boy?
Everything. I jump in class 2 days. I said, nah, but this is not for me no more. I ride out.
Yeah.
I ride out. Then I went Asia. And that's when I went Asia with my friend. And then I end up in Finland. I got the call from Finland. I take the...
Wait. So you have an agent? You have an agent this whole time or just...
So, this is the interesting part. All this time I have no agent. I do everything myself.
Right.
So, from Canada, I end up, so one of the fellas on the team, he was a video analytics person who does making videos. So he teach me how to make videos. So he teach me how to make my highlights. So I make my highlight. I just, every day after the off season, I will like 100 emails a day all over the world.
Right.
Are you finding the teams to send it to, right?
So you just say you're going on the team, and back then they could change the language to English, and you're looking through the contacts, and them have emails. Hit or miss. You can send 100 emails, no reply.
So you know which league you wanted to be in or something, or you just literally?
I literally, it had the UEFA coefficient. So how I did it was, you look at the coefficient, and you start from the bottom to the top. So the lower the league, you might have a chance because it ain't so good. So you might get so message everybody.
Wow.
Everybody. So let me say Sweden. So it have 3 leagues in Sweden. You message all 3 leagues.
Oh.
So every day you pick a country and you do all the leagues.
Wait. Okay,
I do that.
That's real workhorse.
I do that myself.
Watch man. So Akil, why you was leaving Canada though? Contract was done. It wasn't going to get renewed. Like what was the scene? Why you leave?
Contract was going to get renewed, but the team, the financial beneficiary, the one who supply any money, didn't want to carry on the team unless you get more sponsors, and more sponsors then come on to the team because at that time they wanted to take the team to the USL. Now they wanted to break up from the Canadian League and go in the USL, and that requires a certain amount of money. And before, when you was in the Canadian, you had 1 man. Now you need more, and other people they want to jump on the bandwagon of the team. And I, once again, when I me and tell person, if I break something, if I break every record here, I can't stay here again.
Like the challenge.
I have to go and challenge myself again.
Yeah. So from a football perspective, right? So I mean, you play Intercal, you play UNF, play. So was the quality of the football getting harder and harder, or you feel like if it was all the kind of same?
I think college Canada was similarly same. Intercal too was similarly same. It wasn't not challenged. Canada wasn't, because when Canada and America not too far for each other, and I think about that was 2011. So football back then wasn't as it is now.
Yeah.
Like I say, the fast man, you get. Put me on the field, put me through, and as it let me talk done, and let me do the rest.
Give him space.
So like I say, you used to get away with a lot because you're quick enough and all. And then when you're scoring goals, what they go tell you?
Yeah. Right.
They produce it.
What you can tell me? Oh, you play shit, basketball too. Run me my bonus, and let's not talk about and go tell me what you're doing. That's all. You win? All right, good. It don't matter to me. But as I went higher and I challenged myself, like for example, like I say, when I went Finland, I went for that challenge.
So wait, what was after Canada again?
So
Canada was Asia.
I went Singapore for about 2 months. I was in Singapore. Everything was, honestly, the experience there was nice.
You say they want you to, when in Asia, they want you to do the throwing, free kick,
everything. I had to pick up the ball.
Sign Messi.
Everybody all the time. And there's so much you could do. And in Singapore, that's sun blazing. Blazing.
Hotter than Florida in the summer?
Blazing like Florida. But the tricky part now, so in Asia now, in Singapore League now, it different. So it are rules. Foreigners have to pass a fitness test again to sign. Right? So I didn't know that. So before
you should have researched that, bro. Every kind of thing you're supposed to research, you should have researched.
So after Canada now, You don't feel you're top of the world. You get because how they had it in kind of contract in a certain way. So the top goal scorer, the second goal scorer, the third goal scorer in the team, everybody get bonuses.
Right.
So it goes by how many goals you score and something about points or something. So you get bonus. I get good bonus, whatever. So I went back to America, and that's when I do my classes or whatever. And I said, scrap that. Went to Florida and enjoy my vacation. So when I show up to Singapore now, I wasn't unfit, but I wasn't fit because I was just hanging out with friends and things. So when I went to Singapore now, everything was good. I trained with the team. I made the coach. I made the team. We play. So the first day I practice, second day we play a practice match. I think I scored 3 goals or something. So in the practice match.
Right.
So in my mind, because the contract wasn't dropped, they just say we need to see you and we need to see you in a game, and that's it. Contract don't drop. I know how much again. I know this. They don't put me in the apartment. Top floor 40 something floor in a penthouse. I said, I feel myself. Then all this, so to come to sign the contract now, they call me and they say, we need to talk to you. So I says contract.
Yeah.
So the contract on the table, but they say I had to pass the fitness test. I said, well, fitness test? They say, yeah, they had to do the deep test. I said, oh,
Yeah.
So in my mind, when they say fitness test, I thought it was a team fitness test. No, this is run by the Football Federation of Singapore.
What?
Yes.
Have I heard about that before in my life?
Exactly. So in my mind, because I know normally teams do their own fitness test and assess players. So that day I had to go for a medical, pass all them thing. So normally, if you can't run your treadmill for a certain amount of time, you can't even get to the fitness test. So I passed that. So already, I said beep test because I never do a beep test before this.
Okay.
Because college was just 2 miles and 3 miles. So I said, should be no problem. So they go in our facility, and in our facility, you put the 20 meters yard mark down. I said, all right. So you're hearing this thing, level 1, level 2. So in my mind, I said, but how much levels in this? I counting sprints running now.
Yeah.
The first level is about, let me say about 8, level 1, 10 or something, 12, some 12, 11 sprints. But I said, well, wait now, this thing going out to about 20.
Yeah.
My body hit 10. And when a car had no more gas, and engine light come on, radiator start to shake up. I hit this level 10-3. I hit level 10-3. I said, okay, all right. I'll push it through. Level 10-4. I said, I can push it through. Level 10-5. Well, let's see, I said, slow. And I said, I'm going reverse. And everybody going forward and I'm going backwards. I said, no, but I couldn't do it. Come, that a meeting. So every test now that I take, that'll pay $500 US for each test. So it's been $500. So that meeting, they said, listen, you have to get to 12. So what we go do now, we will have you in training, and you will just do fitness while the team think. Because the next fitness test is a week away. Aside, no scene. So I do training, I run, I train. I get my body up to mark the thing. So we're going to do the fitness test again. I said, I have it this time, I did 11-3. And I gave the engine light come on. I said, oh boy, just give it to 12 now, please. Please give it to 12. I had 4. I had 11-5.
Right.
11-6. By the time 11-6 hit, it's concrete. I start to feel on my leg. And I want to run it because at that point of time, the thing in my mind is like, this is how I eat and this is my food. This is not where I'm from. Sure. I drop out of school on my last semester. Right. Finished to sacrifice this and my father. And all I think, my father, what he said, I'm not going to pay for that. So I did, in my eyes, I didn't want to be a failure in that perspective. And I didn't want to end up with nothing on. Or they say, I told you so. Yeah. So I'm pushing it out of that. 11-6, that was it. If I could have passed it and see Jesus, I'd have passed it and see Jesus. I was done. 11-6, I'm done. So we had another meeting. Oh, cool. And they asked me, they say, you think you can pass the next one? I said, all right, enough money for me to continue doing this? Because we can a long time. He was not laughing, sorry. You have a meeting, we will talk tomorrow. So they had a meeting. I come back, and so at that time, where I was living with a guy from Japan and 2 South Korean.
Okay.
And they wanted me to stay because they like, and one of them was Takan, and up to this day we still have a good relationship. He was like, no, he's not good English, but he said, I want to stay. You good play. You need to pass. I will train with you. I said, Taka, it has certain things men can do and men cannot do. And it's a fitness test. I can't. I'm sorry. I want to stay. You know, I would love to, but we can't. And it just so happened that when the coach from Finland called.
Wow.
And then
it was real praying. I know it was real praying for.
I think it was prayers, or my father prayers, or they put the sort of candle on the Bible verse, or whatever it is. But he called. And he called and he said, where you come now and wherever the case. So I ended up talking to the team, and you know, and then it had a big that caused problems in Singapore now, where they decide to change the rules, because it's like, how could a fella who not passing a fitness test go and sign and play in one of the top leagues in the top league in Finland? It's not possible. Right. So and then they had an article about where we're losing this good talent because of this fitness test when he could play, because I had a lot of players from Singapore who is in national team itself couldn't pass it either. Because I was running with the fella and he in national team and he couldn't pass it.
Right.
And he said, I get tired of this every season, so every season. Because imagine every season you have to run that. Before you don't play football, before you need to run that right through.
Yeah.
So they change it now, and they change it to like a 2-mile run. Nah, it didn't really work out for me anyway, but 2 miles, alright, fine, cool, I could get in between that. Yeah. So they had an article, and they so I was kind of the guinea pig that kind of changed the system for
the future. Trying to find that one.
Yeah, no, so you can look it up. That's beep test flop. Look for that beep test flop.
Wow.
Beep test flop. Yeah. Singapore actually for a beep test flop because it had me and another fella from Nigeria. He went on to sing in Thailand to a big club called Bangkok Glass, I think. Okay. And I went to Europe. So that changed. So and that once again, these things not prepare me for the real. What I call real football, like the European
football,
style.
Yeah.
And I end up in Finland, and like I said, the first 3 months was hard, because here you are, you're trying, because it had practices, and you wouldn't believe this, it had practices on my team where we just do technical stuff, where no passing each other. You're on a wall and they're playing the ball on the wall, kicking it in the air, one touch back.
Okay.
But if I make 2, you're lucky. And I watching them men pop, and I didn't fight it up.
Wait, the wall?
So in Finland we had 3 different fields. We had the main field, the stadium, we had the artificial team for outside practice, and we have indoor facilities. Yeah. So the indoor, so some days, so our coach had his coaching badges from Spain or Barcelona. He's a Barca fan, so he believed in tiki-taka. So some practices, like after games or something like that, we'll do like technical stuff. And not with each other, because it's easy to do with each other. So it had a big wall, long wall, enough for all of us. Yeah, enough room. Ball shouldn't be coming on. My ball went on everybody's side, but
gosh, boy, Akil, boy, oh gosh.
And they probably say, but this Trinidadian man shit, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the technical aspect where you mean that
technical and to me,
develop.
So like I say, I never get coached that. So I
but you put you on a field real beats though.
Yeah. After when I start again adapted to the league, and think because the first 3 games, when the season come, this is pre-season, I was going through my issues and things. I end up starting the first 4-5 games, you know.
Right.
4 or 5 games. And
I mean, man still had confidence in you.
Yeah, I did. But funny story is we were playing a team called JJK at home. So our stadium wasn't big, about 6,000 people, but so low. So I play on the right wing at that time, right? So this is when he started the season, I think the second game or something, no, the first game of the season, and it was home. So going through the postseason and dealing with what I was dealing with, confidence wasn't too high. So the things I wanted to do, I was a little hesitant. So we playing whatever and I start up. I do not right because I'm trying to do what he's saying, keep possession of the ball, play, move. So I was more concentrated on what he wanted and not what I'm used to doing and feeling comfortable doing. So I ended up getting a one-on-one. And I pass. And silence. Because not excited now, just silence. I just hear my coach say, Akil, if you don't run past that man on the next ball, you on the bench go line. You coming right here next to me, like right next to me. Yeah, long. And it's so everybody here. Everybody here. The next one, I run past and I shoot and hit the post. He said, alright, thank you. You say you're by yourself sometime then. them kind of thing. It played my mental because nobody ever to me I look at that like that is disrespectful. Yeah. That disrespect like you 6 people you embarrass me, man. You can tell me that in the locker room.
It's like under 14 there, boy. That's like an under 14 coach saying, hey.
Yeah, you know, and he was Russian, so they deal with things
totally blunt, very blunt.
They don't care about nothing. Life and thing is minimum to them. Minimum. Because you gotta look at his point of view. His sons playing in Ruben Kassan, the top league. One of his sons played for Celtic in Scotland, top league. So his bloodline is talented players. Even his younger son used to come and train was at 12. And go like at 12 that son was better than me. Technically, he could close his eyes and you could just say you want to go where and you put it right there in front.
Wow.
No lie.
Yeah.
And that is what I didn't understand. So just positional stuff because we had a midfield, the same fella, you see who trapped the ball with
Yeah.
He can run no. But you put you on a field and it's joke. Joke. And he even 10. He get the ball turned, 2 touches, 1 toe, and he put it in his space. And if you're not there, it's your fault. His vision, hands down, probably one of the best players I ever see with vision. But you can't ask him to run and you there if you heart attack. Slow air. He's slower than our Sunday in church. Slow air. Fitness test when he doing sprints and thing, he laughs. But pay him on the field, the free kick and corner and thing, bread and butter. Bread and butter. Quality and that is what stands out to them.
Yeah.
That is what he could do that and more. Whereas I just fast and I not added nothing to. You're not technically good. You're not positioning bad. You don't understand the game. So that's where it go back to the teaching in Trinidad. You're fast, but you're not technically good. So imagine you're fast, but you're not in the right position all the time. You're useless. And then they can read it because that time I say first he start moving left. They realize that I'm alright, no left foot, so they just settle with the left, and I go to the left and cut it back, and they just take the ball and go back down there. And I just so you put money right, and I was a little more successful. And I get better. And my first season was it was hard. My second season was a little better in Finland because I adapted the culture and I understand the thing. But the backstory to that is when I left the club with him.
What club was that?
That Jaro,
okay.
Yeah, when I left the club with it, and I came and I left. So I left Finland after that season. I went to Lithuania, which is in our top league in Lithuania, called Dinamo. So I ended up playing there, and this is another experience because top league, good facility, everything good, but it's mafia in the team. So things when money coming for the money coming short, and then when you golf up. They're telling you have 2 choices. Either you go home in a box or you take it. And me, I know I don't have no bad man friends, so I take my little small pay and chill myself because I'm not going to go box.
Wow.
Like that's what they tell you straightforward. So there was 3 of us. There was me from Trinidad, one fella from France, and a fella from Cameroon. And we lived in and it was rough the first 4 months because they signed me and they're not, so let me say you sign a contract for, let me say, X amount, 2,000 euros, and then paying you short every month and telling you some sad story and even golf up there. Because when you sign, remember, they have all their rights now, remember, they control the transfer, and if you want to leave, they have to sign off on that. So you're not trying to put yourself in a position where things do end good now.
Yeah.
That was an experience too. So imagine you getting paid short every month or no money at all.
I don't know that about Lithuania. I didn't know it's Baba and thing.
Mafia, because the clip, it was rough. That year in Lithuania was rough. Good for
sure you can talk about that still, or you sure hey, what talk about you can't talk about it?
Yeah, 10 years started to I good. I honestly don't know why I see it on some, but if they see me now, but it's good now, it's good. It was an experience, and a lot of players probably went through the same experience, but they wouldn't talk about it. But that is something. That is something I experienced when you're doing your own. You making your own contracts, you making your own decisions. It's something.
You
learn. So imagine, you're not Asian backing you. You're not Asian helping you to get these contracts. You're doing everything on your own, so they're looking at you like, he's a boy. He know nothing.
They can mash up.
So my thing, learning to be my own Asian. So I'm my own cheerleader, my own girlfriend, everything, boyfriend, everything. I do everything myself. So I in my boat, so you're learning these experiences along the way, and that was an experience to me because you're guffing up, so you say, boy, what's going on here? And then you realize that, but wait, in any one country, boy, you gotta pardon because they could end this could go real bad because they could put you in a box and nobody's gonna know. I have across the road, the world, my family in Trinidad, they get this girl call for me every day. Maybe they will get a suspect. They will let maybe 2 or 3 days pass and maybe, but you're not in your country. So it has certain things you have to understand. You can't control. So I only control what I could. So I understand the game. So I think I lasted about 6 months.
Okay.
I still listen. For me, this is not where I want to be, and all this thing. So I said, listen, pay me this amount, and I didn't ask for the full amount, the full salary amount. Pay me this amount, and I will leave. And they end up paying it, and I end up leaving, and I end up going back to Finland to the next season.
You went back to the same team? Same coach?
No, not the same coach. So this is what happened. So when I went back to Finland now, when I went, so I had a team I talked to. I played against them during the season when I played, and they were interested, so they took me. But what I didn't know, when I reached, the head coach at that time tell me, I'd call your old coach. So when he tell me that, I said, oh God, but this contract can work. I'm not become my old coach. He like me. He tell me, he only say good things about it. I say, we talking about the same people there? Eremenko? He say, yeah. He actually recommended you to come here. I was like, what? Shocked. So we end up, with the new team I'm in Finland, which is called KPV, we end up playing my old team Jaro in a friendly match during the preseason. And I say, come, big hug.
Big hug and thing.
Big hug. It trade me off. I want in my mass and people in Lithuania send he for me out.
Yeah.
Because he don't move right out with me. And then he hugged me and he said, listen, I saw your potential when I sang you, and I tried to mold you into a better player, but it was resisting so much that it was becoming difficult. And it was hard because, like I said, my mentality when you come from all these, breaking all these records, in your mind, you good.
You reach, yeah.
Yeah, you think you reach. And he said, I was trying to mold you. And he said, if you had worked on 1 or 2 things, he said he could have been probably one of the best players in the Finnish league. But he wasn't ready. And I said, why you didn't tell me that then? He said, if I had tell you that then, would you have listened?
Right, yeah, but not listen to him, you don't take him on.
I said, you're right, and I said, you're right on that one. He said, that's why I recommended to come here. It's a fresh start, and hopefully you could, do better. And it was a fresh start, and I did better because during half of the season, another team came on board me and take me to they were fighting relegation and they wanted players, so they bought me for my club, and I went there and helped them survive, and I ended up signing like a 3-year contract at the end of the season. So,
but what country is that one? Same Finland, or?
So I stayed in Finland for about 5 years.
So you moving all over the world? You learning all these languages?
Little by little, I can speak some Finnish, some everything, but English universal.
Yeah. Most people know it, yeah.
I can speak more Russian than I can speak Finnish. That's the funny thing.
I'm the coach.
I want to know what he's saying about me in Russian. So I don't
know what he's saying.
I talk about me from my face. So I learned. So about 5 years in Finland. I played and then I actually went back. At some point, I went back to Thailand and played. Yohance. You guys one of my closest friends, like one of my good closest friends, and he recommended me to come Thailand. I was looking for a club, and in between Finland. So it was like Finland 1 year, Lithuania, back to Finland, Finland again, and then Thailand, and then so when I went to Thailand now, that was another experience on myself, another eye opener.
So the fellows end up playing. So like there's like it's not the leagues people used to hear and anything, right? So is it that they're paying good? Is it that they have better opportunity? Just this is more readily available, no sort of nepotism and things stopping stuff, or like how is it happening?
I think from my perspective, I would say is like sometimes you just take what come in the moment when you're younger. You're not thinking because you want to play.
Yeah.
You want to play, so you're taking the opportunities that come because in your mind you're saying you're probably not going. And for me, it was kind of a thing where I wanted to make it because I done already let go, my scholarship
school,
school and you keep replaying your father always and you want to do well, so at the end of the day you can do well and repay him all and make sure that he alright. Make sure he's alright and the family alright and stuff, and also you're taking the opportunities to get, because at that time you just want to play. You take the opportunities that come. So you're coming from Trinidad and you're not coming from much. I ain't middle class family, so you have a dream and you have a moon and you're trying to follow your goal to your best of your ability, so.
Yeah, but I like it though. So I hear these stories though, and I'm happy to hear.
How many professionals it have out there?
How much professionals it have out there, and then it's just plain talk is a seeing black men getting to go around the world make their money, right?
Yeah, that's why I look at it, because what really pushed me to is like the national team. When I was in national on the 17 team and he went and played World Cup qualifiers, and I saw the lifestyle that they live. You in a hotel, you call room service come, give you a gear, and that's it to get a little stipend from the national team. I think at that time it was like $250 or $200 US or something, so your stipend. That time you think you're hot.
You think you're balling.
Yeah, you think you're balling.
Yeah.
So I remember that, and my father always said that to me. He's like, I came back from the national team, and I think in that tournament I scored one of the best goals. I pick up the ball from like about an hour half and dribble everybody. Yeah, everybody get beat. Coming and going, and I scored.
That's what under 17 he said?
Under 17, yeah. Okay. I scored against Bermuda in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And that because at that time, I remember that well, because at that time we ran Lafayette from on the bench now, and I always looked at him as a close figure, and I thought that was a disrespect. So when I come on and I score, I point up. Again, and from that experience, when you get to travel and again at young age, I think I was 15 or 16 at that time.
Yeah.
I was like, I come home, my father always tell me this. He say, remember when they tell me you're gonna be a professional footballer, is the life I want to live. And since that, I always taken. So because I'm not Asian, I ain't come out of college, no big name like Yohance or Julius and them. Like no kind of status or nothing. I have no accolades, nothing. I have a couple accolades here from UNF, a couple accolades here, but no big time player or anybody I care about. So I took a whole different approach, because I used to watch and hear stories, because obviously when I was playing with the Relux, you'll hear stories about agents, you'll hear stories different. I take the initiative and do it myself. Yeah. And cross my fingers and say, you know what?
Do you think it'll make more with an agent?
Well, I could get to that story now.
Yeah.
Because, so before I signed in Finland, obviously national 17 player and whatever from Trinidad national program, blah blah, coming was a write up. So people start coming, calling before the season started, before I even start touching my field and things, and you get a little recognition. And at the end of the season, in my first season in Finland, an agent come from Sweden.
Yeah.
So it had a team in Superton, it's called, the second division in Sweden, which is a very high level and a prestige level that they look at. So I get a call from my agent, and he said, I have a team for you, they're interested. So what happened was I tried to talk to the team on my own, and I don't know how he found out, but he found out. And he said, let me handle the deal for you. So let me and the team talk already what the situation is, and he said, okay, I can give you more money. I said, well, listen, hey, I'm not one to object to more money.
Yeah.
If I can get more right now, because like I said, football is not for everyone. So you take all where you can get now, take the blessings now. So it's like you battle the deal, you do what you have to do, and I go play, you control. So I told the team I said, I'll hand it over to this guy, my agent, blah, blah, blah. A week pass. I ain't hear nothing. Because before that, many teams talking every day. A week pass, I ain't hear nothing. So I message the team, no reply. I message you, no reply.
Wow.
2 weeks pass. He say, hey, come and give me some sad story. I said, okay. So I message the team back and see what really happened. And they say, well, no, the agent asked for too much and we just wasn't willing to commit to that too much on a player like you. We rather give it to somebody else. I said, oh, what? So, and from that day, I said, now, but I don't know, I'm married.
No more agents.
No, because you mash up a deal for me and mash up a deal on the table. Yeah, everything will turn out and you come in and I trust you because you know what I say, you know what, maybe it could because an agent, you know, they come and they sell a little dream and they talk about it.
Must sell their dream.
And you eat it up because you know you're looking for the opportunity again and you eat it up and I allow him to take the front seat after I do the hard work. But then I said to myself, I said, but wait now. He messed up that deal after I do all the hard work. I can continue doing this myself. I think I could have a good chance.
Right.
I continue doing. I build my catalog. I build my portfolio. Every game that we play that was on TV or wherever, I make sure and break it down, highlight, everything, CV, everything, chop it up, and I send it out. And it is basically I was doing what Tinder, well, you know, when I have Tinder now, you can swipe right there thing. I just send it and hoping that somebody swipe right there.
Right.
Also, it was like that. So to lead into the question, like how we end up in all this is opportunity, basically. Yeah. You're grasping at anything that come away because you, in your mind, you want to make it so bad that you're just taking things, but sometimes without even knowing and not even knowing the situation. Because anybody can sell it the dream.
Like Lithuania.
Yeah, because we're saying, all right, top league in Lithuania, top league, good team, good facilities, they're giving you all this and in your mind you're not thinking about no salary at the end of the month.
Right.
Because to you, you know, they say no judge a book by its cover. Is the same thing. You see all this, you see all the stadium nice, this, the apartment nice, but we're not seeing the underneath surface of of what's going on with the team. The team have money because teams can sign anybody, you know. But the question is, can they pay you at the end of the month?
Right.
So they're not going to have a meeting with you and say, hey, we want to sign you, Mr. John, and we don't have money. And they're not going to put out nowhere and don't have money. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when I sign with big press conference, in your mind, in my mind, you're not thinking about it.
Right.
You're not adamant that could happen. And when it happens, because you don't have the experience, you don't know what to do. So you doing the best you can to get what you got, but they know you by yourself, so they know what they can do to you.
Right.
You don't help.
I remember Drogba saying down China, the team he was with at the end of the month sometime, they ain't getting paid, and Drogba like, I never see this before. What going on here?
It's a new experience, and I deal with it for 6 months as long as I can, and I tolerate it because once again, you want to play. You don't want to become a failure and say, boy, you don't, and they don't want to tell people like, boy, I wasn't getting no money, because in your mind, you don't want to seem as a failure.
Yeah,
you know, so
but that's not even your fault though. But I understand.
Yeah, it's not your fault, but when they put in that position, you just feel that type of way.
Yeah, for sure.
And once again, thank God for your answer, because he was there with me through it, and he helped me through it, mentally, emotionally, everything through it. You know, he helped me along the way with that experience, along that way, and I'm forever grateful, you know, for that, you know. So, and that's how I end up in Thailand the following year, because he told me about it. But that's another experience, and he warned me. He said, "Listen, this is not regular football world. It's a different way. When you come here, be prepared." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "We'll see," because he had played there already. Right. He had played there. He had his experiences. And once again, you're chasing your money, because Thailand is good money. You're making what, 5,000, 10,000, 12,000 a month US. if I see $1,000 in Trinidad, I was smiling. You saying that kind of money from football, you know, because I want my 34-hour flight from Florida to LA.
How much what you say?
34
hours flying to China.
That is
time change, everything, whole day. Yeah. So when it reaches a whole day, so you don't fly, but so my first, so I met a guy named Samuel through Yohance, Asian. So there's another Asian, but he was a player, so he was trying to help me out. So when I land, he come, he picked me up in the airport. We went and trained. Okay, you see the skills and whatever. So we went to a team. So we went to a team called Ratchaburi. I can't think I pronounced it correct. Ratchaburi went. So I trained with them wherever. And they started calling me Sean Ray Phillips. Sean Ray Phillips. Sean Ray Phillips. Yeah, so we play and all that, and the coach wanted to sign me.
Yeah.
But the chairman, he wasn't too interested. He wanted somebody bigger. He said, nah, too small, one them big. Across in Thailand, they like them big farm African. That's what from the farm big, that kind of thing. So that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Again, frustrated. I said, well, are the quality are better in this place? He said, nah, but the football here different. Sorry. So I went to try out with another club. We play a game. So we play a game. I do well, score 2 goals, everything. So in my mind, I think everything pan out. He said, nah, yeah, just relax. I said, nah, but I don't score, I don't do my thing. What going on here? He said, nah, different. So that day now, mind you, we play now a friendly, so people on trials. This is how they operate in Thailand. You're playing, so then you see they bring you on, you play shit 1 minute, they take you right back off. It's not I come on the field, make chop up one and take you right back off. Cut them 1 time. So you competing against about 30, 40 other players, you know.
Wow.
For a spot, just for 3 spots, you know.
Wow.
I play a whole game on score. So I think in my mind, saying, next day when I come practice, a whole batch of 50 players again.
Hey.
Are these international players or these local players?
International players, boy.
What?
International players, Africans, all.
Wow.
If you see what I say, but wait, I do this again. Nah. So what kind of X Factor elimination thing this is?
Yeah, that's what someone Shark Tank, some kind of TV show thing.
But I don't make papers. I don't need papers already. I saw the clip and I see that clip. Then in the papers, they don't talking about me. I say, why this in the bar? I say, yes. When I come the next day,
50
I'm out of 50. I don't do it again. Nah, boy. I said, nah. I said, listen, this is not for me, but this is not football. But
that's cruel and unusual punishment to us. I know what that is, boy.
It's 3 spot, and a lot of players say like if you don't play good, they just cut in your contract, and they're not treating you right if you don't play good. Yeah, it's basically you do for me today, and I will continue doing for you. Basically,
wow, you have to perform.
I already, young, dealing with all I went through before in Finland. I said, nah, but I can't deal with that kind of thing right now. That mentally mashed me up. I'm not in the mood for all that because you're not going to hold my money if I ain't play good. Because in Europe, once you sign a contract, good, bad, or indifferent, they're running your money no matter what.
Yeah.
$. Asia, they ain't doing that.
So
they're not holding back my money because I'm not playing good. Because football is a funny thing. Some days they could feel it, some days they can't. It all depends on your vibe. Something happening in your mind or something happening in Trinidad that affects the game. Nah, not this. So basically, it's you sign a contract, but again, pay as you play. You play good, you get paid. Nah, I emotionally.
That's something illegal, you know.
It must be legal. It must
be legal there, though. Legal there.
Wow. Illegal,
That's crazy.
And like I said, the confidence that Yohance had when he went there is not the same confidence I had because he was already an LA Galaxy. He already established. He play all over. I still trying to build my resume to where it need to be where I can be comfortable and saying, but I feel it myself again now. Yeah. So I come back. I leave after 3 months. I come back, and I went back to Finland, and I ended up signing for FC Jazz in Finland. Went back to one. No, I realized I always went back to a comfort zone because I know they already. So I wwent back to there and had a good season. Ended up playing for Pools the next season. Had a good season. And from there, to me, this was my takeoff year.
Okay.
2017 was my takeoff year when I sang in Iceland for the first time.
Okay.
So I sang in Iceland. So a coach who was there in Finland recommended me to go Iceland. And I've been trying to go Iceland for a while, but I never get any. Like I send my emails, I never get nothing back.
Yeah.
And things end up working out. So what happened was a team was interested, and they were taking it long, and they will keep going. We agreed on terms, and they're taking long to make everything happen. So me being a little hasty, I had another team from Iceland come and asked me to come on trial. So they came on fight and ended up blah, blah. And once again, I was kind of out of shape again. Not too bad, but out of shape. Because back then, off season, you want to play yourself. Because every off season, I normally go Florida. I stay in Florida. So you know what happened when you go Florida and you go Miami, Orlando, and you know Trinidad, and so I went, and it was for a trial. So you're playing 2 games. Saturday and Sunday we play a game, and I wasn't too sharp. I wasn't too shabby, and they was like, "Nah, we're not interested," or whatever. I said, no, see, because I already know the other club was already interested. I only come here because the other club's taken. Yeah. So I end up only club aside Iceland now. They say, here, all right. So they fly me straight down to the city where it is, sign the same day. And from there, to be honest, I feel like that is when my career starts going in the right direction. I started to get comfortable, I feel comfortable. I signed for a team called Sindri. So it had a cup tournament in Iceland. So before the season started, they play cup, knockout round, kind of stuff, like community shield kind of stuff like England.
Okay.
We end up playing a top team in Iceland called FO. They play Champions League every year. Big thing. So everybody talking about the game, blah blah blah. Remember playing? Everybody say, "Oh, it's gonna be a hard game." Okay, we lose by a lot. Like I think it was 6-1 or whatever. Ooh. But I had a fantastic game, and I feel like that the game was on TV. Boy, so at that time, 2017, I was 30, right? And this is 30 when I come in Iceland and I play, and we play FO, and I hold on to a man from half line, I push on the run. If you see the agony, you can hear it laughing, agony in his face. I do him, and at that time he was one of the top defenders in Iceland.
Right.
And I told him what I want, whatever I feel like that whole game. After that, now the coach from FO come and talk to me, and he say, hey, "I like you, a good player, blah blah blah, yada yada. We gotta stay in contact, whatever the case is." So to me, I come. This is my first year, so my team is in the 2nd division, and there's a top team.
Right.
I do that. I say to myself, "Why? I can eat it up here, right? It's baby food."
Yeah.
Because from all my experience over the years, now I hit 30, so now my technical ability better. I can trap now. They can't embarrass me no more. I can't tell you that I can't trap now. I can trap now. Technically sound now. Yeah. I'm more mature and I'm better because they say the people normally say mature between 28, 29. But 30, I feel like I hit my peak. I hit it. And at that time I had a coach who believed in me. I could do no wrong. So I had the confidence, so I could do no wrong. But during the season now, my coach was from Bosnia, I think. Bosnia? Yeah, he was from Bosnia. So he was strong on players. And they ended up firing him because he was too strong. Because he's the kind of coach and the kicking out practice and telling the woman and not doing what he wants. So a lot of players can handle that now.
Yeah.
They end up firing me and they bring in somebody else. And during that season, so the start of the season, I'm firing, I'm feeling myself, I'm flaring, I'm playing good, and they're bringing in a new coach. The whole dynamics change. The whole dynamics changed that year. And so for like about 5 games, I ain't start on the bench. So I had no scene. Then we play. I ended up starting 1 game, and then we played as a good team with a team called Vestry. We play them, and this I get kickstart again. So only animosity that I had sit on the bench, I played. end up scoring 2 classical goals in that game.
Yeah.
Same thing, took a big ball run, score. And the next one, chop, score. From that, so that was like 11 games in. From that, I scored every game after that.
Yeah.
Bam. That's straight on the line. Had a good season. End up renewing my contract with the same team. And that same team, Vestry, come and end up taking over from my club.
Okay.
Same thing come and end up taking over from my club. So now,
first division.
Yeah. So now that club Vestry had aspirations. They were in the same thing, second, but they wanted to get promotion to the other division.
Okay.
So they're buying, they gain on. They were a top club. They were seen like in our league. They were like a prestige kind of club, and they call them the money club. Now they buy the money. It's nice. The things. Go on there, and there's another lesson that I learned in life.
Yeah.
The grass is not greener on the other side.
Not always.
Because the funny part about it, Vestry was the club that brought me to Iceland first and rejected me.
Right. And then when I play them, when I destroy them,
they bring me
back. And I went because I see an opportunity.
Money club.
Money, you're going pre-season here. We're flying Spain for pre-season. We do
right.
So in your mind, it's another challenge, big thing again, right? Because and at that time they just signed a fella from Reading FC from England, also a left back. So they was the plan was to put me and him on the same side because he was fast. He was like a mini Danny Rose. Same thing.
Yeah.
And he come from England, technically strong, good everything. So me and him collabing on that left side will have the problem because we end up playing a practice match. I remember that well. We played a practice match first game because they obviously sang and they play wherever and they to meet the team and then we play a game. And the right back and the right wing was begging us stop running, please. Because when I don't go, he overlap and he go on. And it just and we killing them because he assists in that game, he assists my first goal, he gave me a perfect ball down the line. In my stride, I just had to finish.
Yeah.
And he hit the let's stop running now, please. It's lightning down now that side.
Yeah.
So I feel that chemistry. Everything was going. First game I played 2 goals. Next game 1 goal. Everything was flowing.
Right.
And boom. Injury. Yes. Injury.
First major injury.
First, you can say first kind of major injury.
What was it?
My lower back. First, I had my knee was getting a lot of problems, and then it stemmed from my back. And then every time I play, my back was seizing up, was tightening. Every time. So every after 10 minutes, that was it. It was tightening. And I just couldn't catch myself. I couldn't catch myself. 3-4 months I was out for. 3-4 months struggling at that. And then again, I realized I was pulling weight real fast when I don't play football. Come back again.
Oh God!
Very jiggling. because when you sign for those clubs now, you're getting again 2 meals a day. Again lunch and again dinner and again restaurant. So the restaurant so one restaurant was cooking first. You couldn't do takeaway. The second one dinner, you could do takeaway. Buffet. Oh, when you buffet, the box will only hold so much, but I fill up the box and I wrap and tape around it and so you have to eat in, so I had to cook or nothing. So once again, I wasn't thinking, I'm eating, but I'm not playing, I'm running like I want normally because I enjoy. So I'm not playing, so I just started pulling weight. Now when my back do heal now, I come back with something in front, so whatever was in the back push forward now. Struggle again, but I come back and I think I scored like 3 games in 7 games or something like that.
Oh God, it didn't hurt you then, it didn't hurt you.
It hurt me a little bit.
It
hurt me a little bit, but then now, as like I say, when I saying to take off, basically, I felt like in Iceland, a former home.
Right.
First game of respect, I was getting recognition. People were respecting me now as a player.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were seeing my ability, what I could do and stuff like that. So I was getting more respect. So I was able to still, even though I wasn't, that season I wasn't great, I was still able to feel comfortable. And then at the end of the season, another team from the same league took me, which is Volsinger, which is my last team before this one. And
okay.
Fantastic season again. Like I had a good season, and I think I make they have a list of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And I made the list, and that to me by myself at the self. I think at that time I was what 32.
Right.
So in your mind, 32, you're not supposed to be running past nobody.
Right.
Quick and thing, but it was like an easy. I felt like I get faster.
Yeah.
You laugh, but I felt the whole I get faster.
Right. Could it be like confidence or understanding space?
Everything fall in line. Everything fall in line.
Yeah, everything started slowly fall in line, and it was easy. Like it was fear. Like I was playing games, and it's fear, man. Fear, man. I was smelling it from the beginning. Fear. When they see it coming, it's just they keep backing back, dancing back. So you so far I can go dancing back, and I started to realize, but wait now, why the game now easier than when I was younger? And then as you get older and you understand certain things, the game become easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of all the experiences in Finland and stuff like that, and the development from the coach in Finland, because of Ermin is the player that I am today, because he, after that embarrassment, you don't want to ever be embarrassed like that anymore. Yeah. You want to be the one that's embarrassing people. So now I used to be going practice and saying, let me do, kick the ball high, let me keep it take first touch. I bad no.
Yeah.
And that was it. So when you're doing that and you're going and people seeing that confidence boosting it brings a whole different aura now. You realize that, hey, because that first touch, people don't know. You see, your first touch is the most critical touch in football. Because that sets you up to do whatever you want after.
For sure.
And if you could do that and have speed,
well, no, it's dead. If you have a good speed.
So all this time, did you have aspirations to do your badges and thing already, or that came after? No. That came now.
That came when I came with Volsinger, because 32. Still playing, and you're not sure what tomorrow holds, because now we're getting up in age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now, before even our coach look at it, you're going to ball, you're 32, 33 years old. What's going on here? Like, what are you going to do with you? You're not going to
1 year contract.
Yeah, you're not going to suffice, or you could fall apart any moment. So I start thinking, I say, boy, what I can do now that can make myself a little more marketable. So if I could do my badges and be a player,
coach,
it would become easy. So so now at the end of the season with Volsinger, I end up doing my badges, and I was skeptical because, like I say, it's in Icelandic, and I'm not very fluent in it. I can understand it, but I'm not fluent. But I end up doing it, and it was a good experience. So I end up doing the first 2 courses for my UEFA B, and in the process of doing the third one, and I have one more to do to get the UEFA B, to start the UEFA B. So in the process of those things now. And now it just so happened that this year, randomly, I become a player coach of a team in Iceland. And and once again, I wasn't looking for this. It just so happened that a friend of mine that I played with, he had a project going on. And he's like, Akil, listen, I have a project going on. I will come and join. I want the team to get promotion, and I will be part of the plan. I have a lot going on, so I will try and make you the head coach or the face of the team, and we go push forward that.
Wow.
You know what? Why not? I wasn't looking for it before. I was just looking for a regular contract just to play, and when I was ready, retire, and then I go worry about going on coach.
So right now, what's in store for you? So today, what you see yourself doing?
Today, right now, right now, I still finding all cylinders, but that gasket, it's new now. It's new. It made new. So but I don't know if I can get injured. So for right now, for the stuff for me, my main goal right now is finishing my badges.
Right.
That's my main goal. After that, I'll work with everything else. But my main goal right now, 100% now, is badges because as much as I feel new, you never know what can happen. So to protect myself and protect my future, get my badges because they can't take that away from me once they had the badges.
Yeah.
So did you say you are player coach? Did I hear that correctly?
Player coach.
So you're the head coach of the team you play for?
Partly so. We have 2 coaches.
Right.
Yeah, the person and we share the responsibilities.
Right. How is that?
Different experience because I handle the coaching. I do the everyday coaching.
Yeah.
I put the practice sessions together and stuff like that. It's challenging because you're a player coach, so a lot of players look at you still like a player.
Yeah.
Right.
And that respect base is not because it's still like a player now. So you don't have the respect base then and dealing with so many different personalities because we are four Spanish players, so it's different personalities sometimes.
Right.
They have their point of view, I have my point of view, and they're trying to find the balance. So it's because I watch the international players, even if they're on the team, everybody wants to be a star.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be. For me now, I don't care. I'm 34 years old now. I have accomplished a lot throughout my career. Sure. So I'm comfortable. I have been in Iceland for 4 years, so people know who I am.
Yeah. I
don't have anything else to prove. So for them, it's a be a clash sometimes. It's clash, but it's not bad. It's a good experience. But I have to learn how to balance trying to coach and play at the same time. Right? Sometimes it be difficult.
So my last question for you, because I know we're winding down here. My last question for you is really about, so do you have any aspirations to be involved in Trinidad football in the future? Any part of your mind?
No, not really. I feel like I felt like I should have been part of a national team a long time ago and I never get called up, and since then I never really bothered me. I watch from a distance, I support from a distance, I'm a friends playing, I support, but all the backroom stuff, it's not for me.
Yeah. Right. And you are the inside scoop on the backroom stuff, right? So you
know you may hear from your friend. Yeah. But for me, I think I took the long road to get where I was going. Other players were fortunate enough, like you say, Kevin Lane or Carling Allen, they were fortunate enough where I felt like the national team helped them propel their career further.
Right.
Because they were playing constantly and they were being seen and stuff like that. But for me, no agent, no nothing, doing everything on your own, I think it's a little different.
Right. I feel you're going to end up being Trinidad coach. My dudes, watch the space.
Wait, the way they're playing there, I ain't ready for another Lithuania, no. I ain't ready for that kind of And Iceland has brought me many good things.
I understand, brother.
Shape and form, and sometimes, yes, you want to, like I said, tilt the grass and green. Yeah, national coach would be wonderful, but it had to come with certain benefits, and I don't think Trinidad there yet. It have too much turnover, too much backroom stuff going on that it's stopping the progress of football because right now you're not league playing. They have no football for the youths to develop, have no developmental plan for that. So the next generation of footballers is who?
Yeah.
Who's you? If you could tell me the next generation of footballers after this batch here, after the Garcia brothers or somebody, I don't know who's the next generation. And now because they're not football playing, most of them home, they're not doing nothing.
They didn't play football for almost 2 years.
They're playing on belly like you. They're playing on belly.
I know they build like that because I find them in Trinidad with the kids and still looking the same. So something in right now.
Something different.
It could be genetics. My father, he like that. Easy, so I have genetics. I'm my father genetics.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what the future holds, but for now I'm more focused on finishing my courses. That's my 100% goal right now. More than anything, just finishing my courses and making sure that done before the end.
Okay.
So you say you're back Messi and them. So you watch the Copa. The game was a tough watch, but Argentina won it.
Yeah, it was what 2 o'clock I watched that game.
Yeah.
We had game 3 hours away. So when I come, I fight in it, you know, to watch the game. But Messi's my dog. I'm a dog.
Yeah.
So after watching, it was a tough watch. Messi to me, he didn't do much in that game.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I will say this: he worked harder in that game than his whole career.
Yeah, he worked very
I
hard.
see him tackle and thing. I said, well, who is this player? Hey, 34 years old.
For sure.
I said, take care, you ain't get up there. Batman give up. Shooting tackle now.
Messi's a real you say ball who? That man love football.
Nah, he love football and his desire to play and what makes Messi different than other players like Ronaldo and all these great players. Messi could assist just as much as he could score, you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes him a different caliber. So even if he slow down, the kind of passes he's playing, the vision he have, he will kill you.
It had a list where they showed the most everything in the. So it was Ronaldo most thing and Zuba most assists and Verratti most key passes. In Copa is Messi. Going down the line is like all right.
He alone because Neymar was supposed to take the mantle, but he slowed.
I know that hurt you as a Barca fan.
It of course it's going to break up that.
Yeah, boy. And I was not a Barca. I'm not a Barca fan. It was like Neymar. I see one out of the shadow, but hard though.
Yeah.
I understand that you want to be your own man, but no, to me, this is just my opinion. He won PSG, and to me, he's still not the man because Mbappe was overshadowing him at a point of time.
Well, when you're the man, you have to get the most criticism, man. So if you don't deliver, it's going to come with it us.
Nah, I mean, I think Mbappe benefit from Neymar being there to take away some of the scrutiny.
Yeah.
But I just feel PSG is a bad move, but I find so.
For sure.
It's not even just Neymar. So I had real like Javier Pastore. I don't know if I remember him.
Yeah, Pastore, the Argentine. Right?
Yeah, and he gone when he leaves Syria and when PSG though.
Sure.
Same thing with Verratti too. Verratti could be a better player. So like all these men, they went PSG, fair enough. But
I think Verratti's still solid, man.
He's solid. And Neymar's still good, but
this Euro, Verratti impressed me the most he ever has.
How about Jorginho, boy?
I guess get Jorginho props.
Jorginho,
okay player.
Nah, man, with Mark, I get Jorginho props. The man very tactically aware.
Yeah, he sung.
He does balance the team defensively when spinner going walk about wherever he going. And he just keep the ball taking over. He just not. He just as Akil say, he unseasoned and I don't like it.
The unseasoned one sticker.
Yeah. I like that boy. That's the perfect definition.
Look at all the good rated players now. Mason Mount is talk about in England. He not no flair, nothing simple.
But he has some flair enough. Mount has some flair.
Yes, Grealish.
It's not Ronaldinho and Messi flair.
Yeah. Not that kind of flair.
It's a different kind of flair.
Nice. Akil, bro. Have a good
I
should say morning. Keep in contact, bro. I like the vibes. You know, it's a love, bro.
There's always a love. Sure. Anything you need, just let me know, man. I always hear, man.
You really appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate it.
I might tell you that 100 times again.
Don't worry about it now, man. Anything you need, just let me know, man. No see it, man. I can stay up any night for it.
I appreciate that, bro.
Bless.
We go link up again. Take it easy.
Yeah, brothers. I'll take care.
Yeah, bless.
Fire.